This video is sponsored by a video game that, far from disappointing most people who play it, like a certain video game recently released that involves a golf club, most of you who try this out are gonna love it. It is World of Warships. Oh yeah. Specifically, the new content release, the 40k, Warhammer 40k content. So if you didn't know, World of Warships is a free-to-play game, very historically accurate, barring certain fun additions like the Warhammer 40k content. It strikes a perfect balance between action and strategy gameplay, and it is a massive game with heaps of content that they are continually updating and adding more to. Each week there is something new with new missions, game updates, and events. The game lets you command a huge naval fleet, including some of history's most iconic vessels, such as the USS Indianapolis. And you can unlock heaps of more ships and prepare to dominate the seas. And as I mentioned before, there is a new awesome content release that brings in Warhammer 40k to the World of Warships game. The collaboration takes inspiration from the Chaos Space Marines and the Imperium. Not only will they be bringing all the new Warhammer 40k inspired commanders and patches, you'll also be able to modify your existing ship collection with Imperium and Chaos Space Marine themed camos, flags, and more. They're also rolling out special Chaos and Imperium themed battleships along with a host of Warhammer 40k themed combat missions. So with the lockdown happening, it is a great time to try out this awesome free-to-play game. In fact, if you use a link in the description below, you will get legitimate free bonus goodies described in the description. So check it out, really. And seriously, I'm actually very selective about the types of video games I let sponsor this channel. I've turned down a lot of them, but World of Warships is like a really high-quality, awesome, immersive, fun game, free to play, so I really encourage you guys to check it out. Use that, link in the description for those bonus goodies. You'll have a heap of fun.
I think it's on. So, hi, I'm Chad. Turns out last time I made an important video like this, people thought I was Shad. Don't know. No, sorry. Misheard. Chad. And I once again need to make a fairly important video addressing a subject that's, well, it's very important. And it's a matter of why golf clubs are not only the most dangerous weapon in the world, one of the best, and but also protect people, right? Because I've been seeing online that there's this monster, this vicious, bloodthirsty, murdering psychopath using one of these. And apparently this monster has killed some really important people. These people meant a lot to a lot of people. And this monster killed them. Not only did he kill them with a golf club, which is... And I'm going to tell you why. So I'm going to be going into a bit of information about why the golf club is so deadly, a bit of the history, and how you can defend against it. Because the last thing we would want to see is other people taking inspiration from this monster and killing off other people that we really like. For some reason, I had deja vu when hearing about it. It reminded me of something that happened a long time ago in a place far, far away. But, so we're going to go into the information. Now, I do want to apologize for the background because you see all the dirt? I've been dealing with all these potholes. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, I'm sorry. But I don't know why these problems befall me, of all people. And I've tried to fill them in. But some of these potholes have just been so big that you can't miss them. They're just stick it. So hopefully these potholes won't get in the way too much. Even though it's unavoidable, they stick out like a sore thumb. There's just so many potholes everywhere. So who am I? You're probably wondering that, because there's a lot of people online who are trying to tell you how golf clubs should be used, what's the right way, and if the right way is good or not. Well, put that at ease, just let you know, I am an expert, okay? And the reason why I'm an expert is, do you see what's behind me? It's a castle, okay? that should show I'm pretty serious about this, because why would I build a castle if I wasn't, that means I know what I'm talking about, basically. The other reason why I'm right when I talk about and tell you all about the golf clubs is because there are other people who are like me who can vouch for my credibility, okay? And I know they're credible as well, because when I hear them, they're saying things that I agree with, and I agree with them because I know they're right. And therefore I know they're right, because I'm right. And because of that, well, you can then trust me, you can trust them. And even though there are a lot of other people who actually play golf, who've played, now, I haven't played it, I don't need to. I can just kind of, get an idea. But not only that, what's more important than playing is having an understanding of what I want the golf club to achieve. And because the people who are actually playing golf, they're not doing it in the way to achieve what I want to see, other people to learn about it. It doesn't matter if they're actually good well, when I say good, it doesn't matter if they can perform the act of playing golf adequately. It's still really bad because it's not achieving what I want. And this is why you can trust me, because my intention is always to achieve that goal, no matter the means, because the ends justify the means in that sense. So, with that out of the way, we're going to get into the detail now, and it might be raining soon, so I'm going to try and get it done quickly. I'm in my backyard in the rear, right here, and the intention is, well, because I'm going to have to go and dry and do it fast, so I can go through it. So as I mentioned before, because golf clubs are such a viciously deadly weapon, and I mean that, okay, because people think and they say swords are and they're good, yeah, people say that, and that's true, swords are good, okay, so why, if golf clubs are better, which they are, why don't we see them being used more often? And the answer is because you have to be pretty vicious to ever dare to use a golf club, because they're so deadly. I'll explain how and why a bit later on. And that's very true. You have to be pretty darn aggressive to even dare use one of these. But I actually don't think just saying you'd have to be violent, that doesn't go far enough to explain the level, the point where someone needs to be at to dare to use one of these. In fact, you would have to have some type of mental disability or be a physically deranged monster to ever dare use a golf club on another person. So let's start with some of the history. Golf was invented in China during the 10th century, only that back then, instead of using golf balls, it was played with the heads of peasants and political prisoners, which is coincidentally how China still currently plays golf to this day. And to get some of the information correct, I have credible sources that I've looked up and I have here, because in looking up, these details, turns out in medieval China, golf was a game that was blessed by the gods, okay? It was highly ritualistic. So because it was highly ritualistic, the people they would want to play and win, they would look for the manliest, strongest, and the ones with the highest testosterone in the village to once they won, so they get this person, and then to get the balls to play with, they would ritualistically behead the people that were seen as no more use. If they were old, not up with the times, seen as, troublemakers or toxic or anything like that. And so they'd behead him, and then they'd play with his corpse and insult his memory for about 25 hours before getting ready to play. The elite nobility and scholars, well, they loved it. The people who really knew what was going on and knew what golf was meant to do and achieve, of course they loved it. The people who actually played golf as a game and didn't ritualize it in this way, they actually didn't like the whole, side to that of killing the older person and mutilating the corpse for 20 hours. Or 25 hours, sorry. Got to get the facts right. And in fact, not only did they like it, turns out that they rated it very poorly. So the thing that you need to understand is that even these peasants, yes, they played golf, but they're wrong, okay? Because they didn't understand what golf could be used to achieve, specifically the golf club. And so, because the elites, they knew what golf could be used for, it was the best plan, and you can see why that's the case, is to appropriate the things that these peasants loved and to use it to achieve the ends that they saw would be best for their society. So, and they were right to do so. They knew what to do. Not the people who actually played golf. It's just, nah. Okay? The elites were clearly more valid. So, that's some interesting history right there about golf. So now we can talk about how golf clubs can be used. And so the first thing you need, of course, is to get a golf club. There are a couple of different options, okay? 9-iron is one of the more deadly. The putter has more penetration, just on the tip when you hit. And, of course, wood, more surface area, okay? So you can do more blunt force trauma. But you need to get a golf club. So you can buy one ahead of time, or, people might not want to see you carrying it because they're so deadly. So you might want to have a friend or someone hiding it, and you can walk in, unarmed, and then they can throw it to you and you can grab it. You need to trust the friend, of course, because they might be doing something you wouldn't trust. I mean, especially if they're like a bigot or something like that, I wouldn't accept a golf club from a bigot. Just no. So there's a couple of different ways you need to carry, make sure you got the golf club and you're armed. But when you have it, well, then you've got a couple of different techniques. But before we do get into those techniques, I should say some of the areas in which the golf club is effective. Now, of course, people, really, really deadly against people. Women can use it, but because it requires a bit of upper body strength, men will probably have the advantage there. Now, really useful against people. Zombies, excellent. Go for the head, okay? Some violent, dangerous animals. Golf clubs are perfect and really effective to be used against those. I mean, if they're violent animals, of course. If they're happy, friendly animals, it's inhuman, all right? Just thinking about killing a friendly dog, like, gosh. And even if you were forced, it's way too far, especially a dog, like a really nice, friendly dog. You'd have to be an inhuman monster to force someone to kill a dog. You would never do it. Especially a friendly, lovable dog that wasn't going to hurt you or threaten you. Sorry, I'm getting a little... Because just think about how much of an inhumane monster someone would have to be to force you to kill a dog. And you had no choice. There was no way to progress unless you killed a dog. That is of a level of villainy and evil of the likes of the monster that we have heard about killing the people we love with this dangerous, vile weapon, the golf clubs. I mean, even Hitler liked dogs. So think about the type of person who would force someone to kill a dog.
I need to pause here to just, I need to clarify something, because I'm talking about nice dogs, but bad dogs that are not nice. Well, sure. You don't want bad dogs. Like really naughty ones. If they're really naughty, well, of course we wouldn't want those. In fact, they might be worth using a golf club on them even. The naughty ones. I needed to clarify that, so I guess, we can go back to the video, yeah. Okay, thanks, yeah.
I'm sorry, little getting distracted, but I'm just trying to explain, because the golf club is vicious, okay? So effective against so many things. One of the things that, you might have noticed is I've been talking about how deadly the golf club is, and it really is, like, viciously deadly. And that's because its offensive damaging, ability is so high. It has a concentration of weight on the tip of a point of rotation. So even though my hands aren't moving fast, the tip is moving really, really fast, concentrating all that force right there. So deadly, but the offensive ability, the defensive ability of the golf club isn't as high. Doesn't have hand protection, okay? You can use sweeping actions, combine it with some, good sword techniques. So you got the full range there. No crossguard though, that's a bit of a problem. And so it particularly excels when you're trying to kill incapacitated people, basically. If they're defenseless and they can't do anything, well then you can just, fort and do what you need to do, because the golf club excels at doing that specifically. In fact, it's a bit par for the course. So the other thing, people who are already at your mercy, you'd have to be an inhuman monster to do that, of course. But if the person is starved, dehydrated, half drowned, well, I mean, perfect, isn't it? And this is also informing us of some of the techniques that can be used. One of the overlooked, techniques of the golf club is, it also, people don't realize, it doubles as a ranged weapon. Proper technique, To get the effect of the ranged capacity of a golf club, you do need golf balls, okay? So always have some tucked away, prepared, and ready. In actual fact, to be properly, the people who are really excellently trained in golf clubs are always going to have some ready installed. The proper method is to always have 2 balls stored away, ready to be used whenever you need to use them in such a range capacity. What that means is also, if you ever see anyone using a golf club, you need to assume ahead of time, and you don't even need to assume, you can know ahead of time that person basically has 2 balls hidden away somewhere, okay? And it's the technique. You hide them in your pocket, down your pants, ready to be grabbed out and used when you're ready, okay? And it's good to, if you keep your, the golf balls in your pocket, okay? Keeps them dry, so you can then just drive it home. Oh, see, sword. Yeah. But then you can just drive it home, dry and fast, with your balls. So ranged attacks, okay? Now, because those balls are such a dangerous weapon, for people who are fighting against someone who is using a golf club, that's a primary target, okay? And whoever is using that golf club, like I said, you can very safely, not even assume, you should know they have 2 balls there, okay? And that is the target where you want to hit them. Hit them in the balls so they can't use them in their ranged effectiveness. Now, I know some of you, when you hear that a golf club is an effective ranged weapon, that you're thinking there's a much better ranged weapon that you can use anyway, a gun, okay? But what people fail to realize is that, look at a bullet front on, coming out of the barrel. What does it look like? It's round. Looks like a ball. Tiny golf balls. The pin on the gun swings in, hits the... What does that look like? It's a golf club, okay? You see, even the most advanced, like when we look at more, like real weapons that people use everywhere, it comes from golf club, or the original golf club design and thing, okay? So that's what guns really should be called, golf clubs, okay? Because they're so deadly. And then even if you're got multiple enemies, this, with the miniature version, and you use it properly, you're always at least going to be putting a hole in one. And there we go. That is why the golf club is the best weapon ever in the world. All right? I think that answers it categorically. You know you can trust me. You know what I say is correct. And look, just so sorry about all these potholes. Like, if I could go back in time, right, because I didn't make these potholes, and someone else made them. And that means if I could actually go back in time and rewrite the past, would have, because the reason why these potholes could have been avoided is they're so blatant. And they're so big. They're so big that a person with the slightest bit of intelligence could easily have avoided them. And if I go back in time and rewrite the past, those potholes, so easy to avoid. It's just so hard to ignore. Sorry, I get distracted by them. Anyway, golf clubs, dangerous weapons. I'm glad we settled that, and I'm right. I know. So thanks. No, I don't need thank you. You guys probably actually play golf and disagree with me. They're probably just bots. You can ignore them.